Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 2 of 3 Things This Week. I am Matt Panetti.
And I'm Lauren.
And that's Lauren, my wife. And we're going to talk about 3 things that are of note this week that we've been thinking about. First thing is football.
Is football dying?
Yeah, is it dying?
We watched a special earlier this week. What was it called?
Real Sports with Brian Gumbel on HBO.
And it was interesting.
Enlightening.
Yes, very enlightening.
We already know a lot about concussions and the debate around that. And that's kind of what this show was on.
But I think that it really, at least it spoke to, because we have 2 perspectives. We have the perspective of the chiropractor, but we also now have the perspective from a parent standpoint.
Yeah.
And it spoke to me more on the parent
for sure
aspect, because they were interviewing a lot of parents.
So what they were saying was the demographics are changing in football. More parents that, and the equivalent, or what they said, the reason why was the groups that are more educated or have more money, more educated on the topic or have more money, their kids are playing less of football. And the groups that may not be as educated or may come from lower income families, they are playing more of it.
And they even did a bunch of research, and it showed that like a lot of the lower income families had absolutely no idea that concussions were even a risk in football.
Yeah, and the group that they follow is actually in Princeton, New Jersey, which is where Princeton University is, a high Ivy League school, and they showed how the parents in that city, that town, where there's the high level, the IQ level is extremely high compared to the average population in America. Those parents, there's hardly any kids from those wealthier families playing any high school football. Whereas 10 years ago, it was the opposite. It was everywhere. And now it's all just lower income families that are playing football, which makes us ask the question, is this just a gladiator sport?
Well, and how long is football really going to be around?
True.
As hopefully, even the lower income families hopefully are getting the knowledge, will start getting knowledge and information about the risks associated with concussions and with football.
Craziest part I thought about that was these families are playing touch football now, or flag football, in the wealthier areas. And in the poorer areas, like right down the street, literally on the other side of the railroad, where they're not as wealthy, their only option is tackle football. And that's from 6th grade on.
No, not 6th grade. She said 6 years old.
Oh.
She said that after your child is over the age of 6, there's no option for touch football anymore.
Crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, and the risks of concussion are pretty well documented at this point, and it's not to say you should or shouldn't play football, but the scary part is everybody should have the opportunity to be educated on it.
Yeah, and you should know the risks, and you should know the advantages as well, but that was really eye-opening for us.
Yeah. So check it out if you haven't. Number 2 thing of the day.
Barefoot shoes.
Barefoot shoes. So I know this topic really well because I've actually started getting into barefoot shoes myself. Not because I just wanted to, but because out of necessity. Just from years and years, I played basketball for years and years, and dealing with the problems that I now have as a result of playing basketball. Part of it is due to my feet and the structure of them. And when I take my shoes off, as my wife will tell you,
I've been telling you for years.
Not pretty. Yes.
I think within the first couple of months I met you, I said, you should really be barefoot way more often, because he was just always having shoes on, even inside.
I never had my shoes off. Yeah, and I just grew up that way. That's what my dad did, and I just modeled it, I think.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's not necessarily a healthy thing for us, because especially in shoes that we wear in America, the cool, stylish ones, your toes are packed into these really small toe boxes, narrow toe boxes, and they scrunch up and warp over time, and that's what my feet look like, which is scary, because your feet are like hands. They should be able to claw the ground and generate a lot of force, but when your toes are really narrow and stuck together, they don't do a very good job.
Well, and you've been wearing barefoot shoes now for how long? 6 months?
Yeah.
8 months? But the other thing he's been doing is he uses these toe spacers.
Oh yeah, the toe spacers.
I don't know if you wanted to talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it.
The toe spacers are legit.
They are they look like those things that, that the nail people put on your toes when you're getting a pedicure to like space out your toes so that they can paint your toenails. They kind of look like that, except these are like
Not really. Those are like more like
foam. Right. These are a different material, but
like gel. Like,
yeah, these are like gel.
and
but
they're
a tough
serious. They got a pretty good amount of space in between each ring where your toes go in,
But
and they just keep them
You
apart.
were like so disciplined for like a really long time. He would put them on at night and sleep with them. And I mean, after what, 3 months maybe? I mean, okay, maybe you didn't do it every single night. But there was like a significant change in how his toes looked.
Yeah, because they used to be really scrunched together,
Yeah.
and now we've got space.
And now there's actual space. And like, not only have I noticed this, but people in my family have noticed this. My mom noticed it. She got some toe spacers.
She's a follower.
She tells me that she tells everyone about toe spacers because they just like transformed your toes.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing other things too besides just the toe spacers, but
But it's not about the look. It's about
No.
ultimately what that does for my body and my performance. Because having toes that can grip the ground and generate more force by themselves individually makes me stronger and less prone to injury, like knee problems and back
that's
issues.
what I was gonna say. Like, it's not just helping your feet and your toes; it's
Yeah.
helping, knees, hips, low back.
Yeah, so if you're dealing with low back or knee stuff, look into what kind of shoes you're wearing, especially if you're wearing shoes that are not flat, barefoot type shoes. If you've got big heels in them, if you're wearing orthotics, if your toes are scrunched in together, then you should really start looking into this stuff because there's a lot to learn from that and also to be implemented.
Yeah.
All right, number 3.
Number 3, I have to talk about this, and you've probably already heard it, but obviously I watched Tidying Up with Marie Kondo. I actually watched it a really long time ago. And I know it's like being talked about so much right now, but so I tidied up our house a month ago, and I love
Drastic change. Drastic change.
I love it. I started with the pantry, and that was an obsession of mine for a while. I worked on that for a while, but I love it. It's all organized and in their canisters, and I don't know. It just makes it so, I mean, I do a majority of the cooking in the house, and I just feel like it makes it so much easier for me to just grab, put it back. But I also redid all of our dressers and closets. Holy moly. That folding technique that she does was a game changer.
Yeah, it makes a lot more room for our clothes.
Like Braxton's stuff, I mean, Braxton's clothes were probably taking up, what, like 4 drawers? 4.5?
Yeah.
We're down to two and like a little bit. 2 and like a third of a drawer for all of Braxton's clothes.
Yeah, and the same thing with mine because
yeah, same
my
thing with
underwear
yours.
drawer, I accumulate socks. I love socks more than the average person, so I got tons of them, and they were starting to get out of control.
Starting to, yes. They
But
were out of control.
With the new folding method, they can be out of control, and we still got
Well,
room.
we have room for them.
Yeah.
And like just t-shirts and things like that. Like, I don't know. It was just, it felt really good. I'm like a minimalizer these days. I already had minimalized our kitchen. I don't even think I even told you I did that. But I had minimalized our kitchen a while ago. And I got rid of everything that I don't use at least 3 times a week. So like all my one-time appliances, those are all downstairs in our storage closets.
Because they don't make you feel happy. Is that what this line
No,
is?
that's more just because it takes up room for something that I use like maybe twice a month.
Gotcha.
But I did when I went through the closets, yeah, you have to decide like what sparks your joy.
Oh, joy.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Does this bring you joy?
Yes, does this bring joy? But her methods I think are really great, and I haven't read her book, but I want to, because I kind of just did our clothing and I did the pantry and our kitchen's already done, but like I could really go into all the closets and get some serious work done.
She's threatening.
I am.
Threatening.
I am.
Well, anyways, I hope you guys got something good out of today, and we'll be doing a new episode next week. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your day, and if you're in Denver, try and stay warm because it's freezing here. Talk to you guys later.